know, Steph was trying to calm him down along with some of the other Warriors.
Huge blow.
In this type of game
Against this team,
We are back, and we have quite a story developing. Draymond Green has been ejected.
so we're even at 6, but a lot has already happened with 8:24 remaining in the first.
Just imagine being one of the best players in the world, carrying an entire franchise on your back and having to put up with this.
every team has an enforcer, and the Warriors have Draymond.
The reason Draymond went so demonstrably is jersey. Klay is as mild-mannered a player as we've ever seen.
And just when you thought things couldn't get any worse,
Plays last night.
Perk, he got 5 games when he put Rudy Gobert in that chokehold. How many games do you expect him to get this time?
At least 25. He's literally putting his hands on people. One could say assault. If you want to take it to another level, he choked a guy out.
this year, Draymond Green turned into one of the most hated players in the entire league. I mean, he was already one of the league's biggest bad guys, but just when everyone thought it was time to calm down, he decided to take it up a notch, and I think Steph Curry reached his boiling point.
I want to have self-inflicted wounds when it comes to that. You give everything you got to this game, and that's the emotion.
Last week, Draymond got ejected in a record-breaking 4 minutes into the game that was crucial to their playoff hope survival. He got into a heated argument with referee Ray Acosta, which led to him being ejected from the game. This isn't something new for Draymond. It was his 21st time being sent off, making him second only to Rasheed Wallace for the most ejections in NBA history. Whilst Draymond is known for playing with a lot of passion and sometimes crossing the line, which has both helped and hurt his team in the past. This recent ejection is part of a pattern where his intense way of playing gets him into trouble. Draymond's fiery attitude is one of the things that makes him a great player, but it also raises questions about how an athlete balances being passionate with following the rules. These moments not only change the game they happen in, but also add to Draymond's reputation as a player who is both incredibly talented and sometimes too hot-headed. And after a 12-game suspension and 4 ejections this season, how did Steph Curry handle it? This showcased the deep emotional connections within the team. Curry, known for his composure and leadership, was visibly shaken by the turn of events, his distress resulting in tears. This moment was about more than just a single game's outcome. It highlighted the profound impact Green's actions have on his teammates, especially Curry.
The reason they can't count on him is because of the consistency of his demeanor.
Yes.
Because he will not adapt. He will not adjust. There is no other word, Molly, for what you saw last night than selfishness.
Steph Curry is usually one of the most cool and steady players on the court, but this game he showed a rare emotional side. And I don't think it was just because they might have lost the game, it was much bigger than that. Curry's tears were an indication of how worried he truly is about Green's actions that keep getting him in trouble, affecting the team's spirit and success. This moment showed how much Curry cares not just about winning games, but also about the well-being of his teammates and the bond him and Green have built over the years. Can you imagine what's going through Steph's head?
Found masterpiece. And such disappointment for the Golden State Warriors.
Luckily, Steph was able to do Steph things and hit this shot to seal the game.
dealing with everybody else.
Steph for 3.
Got it! Put him to sleep. Night-night. The closer.
After hitting that shot, you can see how visibly emotional he was. And although he won the game and shared a moment after the game with Green, it was apparent Steph was fed up with his antics. But if I were Steph, would I really need to be worried about not having Draymond on the floor? What's even more unbelievable is how close he came to doing this 2 games in a row, in a game where it was clearly done and the Warriors were ultimately walking away with the win. Draymond decided to get into a shoving match with Grant Williams.
Mad when Quinones went to score last time, and Grant Williams is up in him, and Draymond brought the ball through over the top. Like, give me some space.
He got very close to permanently injuring Grant's under area, but fortunately missed. Steph could only sigh in relief as he watched his career flash before his eyes as his so-called teammate almost threw away their season.
As he goes down, watch him grab Draymond right there. Now, that right there. the leg, guys. Watch the leg. Oh my God. Follow through on the foot.
Draymond's first outburst was brought to attention 2 years ago when he sucker punched his own teammate Jordan Poole. I mean, are you serious? After winning a championship, you decide to go and swing on a valuable asset at the time, and we all know what happened after that.
Steve Kerr, first time he lost in a series outside of the finals.
He was pulling my hip, and I was swinging away to sell the call. Made contact with him.
Okay, so you are sorry. Hell nah. I can't wait to do it again.
The drama around Green and its impact on the Warriors opens up a bigger conversation about teamwork, responsibility, and how a single player's actions can affect the whole group. It's more than just basketball. It's about how they work as a family, facing challenges and sticking together through tough times. This situation with Green, Curry's reaction, and the team's response shine a light on the real struggles teams face beyond the game, from managing emotions to keeping everyone aligned with the team's goals. Green's antics aren't new. From physical tussles on the court to nearly getting suspended again, it seems like he's walking a tightrope. And every time something happens, it puts Curry in a tough spot, having to lead the team through the ups and downs. Discussions have started about whether these incidents are reflecting poorly on Curry's leadership, which doesn't seem fair. Curry has been doing everything right. He's averaging 27 points a game, 4.3 rebounds, 5 assists, and still shooting 40% from 3. And although it was Draymond who got ejected in the game against the Magic, he's not the only player on the team that has caused this burst out in Steph.
There's a new career high, and Steve's like, were we fouling on purpose there? What happened?
Klay Thompson has been Steph's right-hand man since the dynasty started. He was also once known as the second splash brother.
Klay Thompson at 3. Klay for the win. Good! I told you.
But ever since the dynasty started to fall apart, he has not been the same.
Everybody has their time. Your mind still thinks that you can do things that you cannot physically do. And you know that in your prime, you would be cooking all of these people, but you literally cannot.
And maybe they're right. We've seen Game 6 Klay.
Thompson fires for 3, yes! Golden State by 3.
37-point quarter Klay.
Klay 3, yes sir! He's got it, his 3.
Pop him again.
Klay again, his 3.
And we've also seen China Klay. But for the last couple seasons, he just hasn't been the same. The Golden State Warriors are going through some big changes, with younger players getting more spotlight. This has led to tough conversations, especially about Klay. In recent final moments of the game, Thompson has been replaced by these younger talents, which was hard for him. After the game, Thompson shared how tough it is adjusting to not being the go-to guy in crucial times, despite still rooting for the team's win.
Kidding me? Go from, one of the best players. It's hard for anybody, I'll be honest with you.
This shift is tough for Thompson, who's used to being a key player and winning 4 championships with the Warriors. The thing is, he's still averaging 17.3 points and 3.3 rebounds, but this is the lowest it's been in the last decade. Realizing he might not be the star he once was is a challenging reality. The discussion around Thompson's role on the team touches on a larger theme of what happens to athletes as they get older and can't do what they used to. Experts and former athletes understand Thompson's situation well. They talk about the struggle of seeing your abilities decline and how it affects your love for the game. Isaiah Thomas, a former player, mentioned that it becomes less fun to play when you can't perform like before. For Thompson, who's had incredible moments in his career, adapting to this new role is especially hard.
These niggas gave up on me.
After suffering an ACL injury in the 2019 NBA Finals against the Toronto Raptors, the question lurked whether Klay would come back the same as before.
The junior, more free throws for the Warriors, but because of that physical defense, It wears you down.
He missed the entire season of 2019 to 2020, and after over a year being sidelined, ruptured his Achilles in November of 2020. Most back-to-back injuries would end a player's career, but after almost 2 years of being out, Klay would return to the court in January 2022 and would eventually be part of their championship run later that year.
Champions. He's a 4-time NBA champion.
This season, Steph's had to deal with a lot of issues surrounding his teammates. Klay not being his usual self, Draymond turning into an MMA fighter, and even Andrew Wiggins' inconsistency has affected the team. With just 6 games left, the Warriors sit 10th in the West, only 3 games ahead of the Houston Rockets.
Warriors, come out to play! Warriors, come out to play!
Some fans are worried about whether the Houston Rockets are giving the Warriors a run for their play-in spot, but Draymond doesn't seem too worried about that.
How much are you now kind of tracking the Rockets?
Although Steph Curry and the Warriors are on a 5-game win streak, things are a little more shaken than usual, and I can even say I kind of feel sorry for him.